What's the point of living to be 100 years old or more if you're not happy, right? And I have 5 great videos in production on how to live longer. But yesterday night, kids have cornered me with the question.
So, what makes you so happy?
What makes me so happy most of the time? How it came to be? Those questions took me some time back, when I was but a kid myself and I was practically abandoned by my parents during the Chernobyl disaster and had to spend 2 years away from them and all my friends in a new place thousands of miles away from home. Emotionally, that was very tough, and I remember spending a lot of time crying myself into sleep, until one day I realized that help is not coming and it's up to me to choose and work on my own happiness. And that's how it all started. So if you get anything from this video, get this. Happiness is a choice. It's not how you are, it's what you do and can become good at. How do I know that? Well, that's what other people tell me about me.
You are very good at being happy. I know you put in a lot of work into this, and so it shows.
And so we had a deep and meaningful conversation with kids about happiness and intentional living. And later in the day, because it was a good moment to capture, it went right into my lazy journal. But the next morning, after sort of sleeping on it, I've realized that, dang, this might be the most important video for my channel, which I should record right away of everything else. So my challenge now is to share with you all the best tips and habits of happy people I have collected and tested through the years. And your challenge is to make a choice to answer this one question for yourself. Do you want to be happier in your life from this day forward? And if answer is yes, then let's get through all the tips and exercises together so you can pick 1 or 2 to add to your daily routine. Something which clicks with you the most today, and then revisit in a couple months and add a few more. Alright, let's put the journal on the wall for now and talk about happiness. Happiness is a warm gun. Just try not to be happy all the time, or they might lock you up. Let's go! Happiness is a state of mind, and it's something you can practice, but you have to respect the substrate. The tower of joy which you are going to build, it rests on the foundation of the healthy brain. And if you're not getting enough rest, it's going to be shaky at best. It's a deep topic in itself, and I had it covered in a separate video already, but in short, you need to feed your brain properly, high fiber diet, plenty of fish oil, have the blood flow, exercise, and clean and recover with good quality sleep. And it leads us to the first tip. When you wake up, don't touch your phone. Don't let other people's problems be the first thing your brain gets in the morning. I know it's not easy, but if you need a workaround, just buy yourself an alarm clock and leave the phone in the other room. As my friend says, proper ladies don't sleep with their phones. Applies to men too. So if you don't touch your phone, then what do? Well, here comes the most powerful tip in this list, maybe only rivaled by the last one, which we will get to by the end of the day, to sort of close the loop. But right now, it's morning, right? So, to prime your day and your brain, you go to a window, raise the blinds, look outside or go outside and say thank you to the universe for being alive. Because even if mission of this channel will be total success, we still won't be here forever. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow, so don't forget to express gratitude for being alive today. And you know what? You don't even have to wait till tomorrow morning. Let's practice now. Take a deep breath, smile, look around and say, wow, it's so cool to be alive. Because it's so damn cool that we're alive, right? So don't forget about that. And that goes right into the next tip, the power of now. It's also the name of the book, which you can read later, or let me just give you abbreviated version. If you are not in immediate physical pain, all your worries and anxieties live either in the past or in the future. And the moment you realize that they only exist in your head and they're not real, life gets so much easier. But how do you practice that? There are multiple ways to meditate, but here's my favorite, which we can try right now. Ask yourself, what my next thought is going to be, and wait for it to pop up. Do not resist, just observe and acknowledge, and then repeat a few times more. Ask yourself, what my next thought is going to be, and wait for it to pop up. Do not resist, just observe and acknowledge, and then repeat a few times more. Ask yourself, well, you get the idea. And what meditation gives you is improved self-reflection and mindfulness. Mindfulness is already great by itself, but you can ramp it up by giving yourself permission to notice and enjoy simple everyday things. Comfortable chair, sunshine, sip of coffee. Just slow down and let the joy sink in. So let's try it now as well. What are the things around you which give you joy? Leave a few in the comments and let's compare the notes. The way it works, when you actively look for happy things, you find happy things. You create more neuronal highways leading to joy. It's like manifestation. The other way to tap into the happy network is to act like you are already happy. Put on an upbeat music, move your body. Let's do it. Let physiology lead the psychology. Have you seen that famous study when people hold the pencil in the position which promotes smiling? Well, they grade everything as more joyful than people who hold it in neutral position. Of course, it might look a little bit ridiculous. So tip number 6 is rule number 6. And it goes like that. 2 prime ministers were sitting in a room and they had a conversation about affairs of state. You know, the way prime ministers do. And suddenly the door bursts open and a man comes in a state of apoplectic upset. He is running around and crying. And so they stop the conversation and the resident prime minister says, "Peter, please remember rule number 6. And immediately Peter, restored to complete calm and silence, he bows, he apologizes, and he walks out of the room. And so they go back to their conversation, but 20 minutes later, the door bursts open again and woman comes in. She's hysterical and her hair is flying and she's shouting again and again. And the prime minister says, "Maria, please remember rule number 6. Immediately, she bows, she apologizes, and she walks out. Then 20 minutes later, same story happens again. And the visiting prime minister says, "My dear colleague, this is astonishing. I don't believe it. 3 people have come into this room out of control, and you just say, rule number 6. Would you be willing to share what this rule number 6 is?" Oh, rule number 6 is very simple. Do not take yourself so damn seriously. That's a wonderful rule. What, may I ask you, are the other rules? There aren't any. As you can probably guess, it's the fundamental rule of this channel. That's what the monkey stands for. It's not just a permission to joke in general, but specifically laugh at yourself, be okay with failures, and not being perfect and not worrying too much about what other people think about you. Because they rarely do anyway. If you want to be him, rule number 6 is your rule. So, I like to wear this ridiculous shorts, just like this, with... Hold on a second. Speaking of which... Yeah, much better. Yeah, how do you like this monkey? This 5G chip in his head. I also like to wear unmatched Crocs like this. And do squats when I'm pumping gas. Because why not? But what's your ridiculous thing? And speaking about ridiculous, do you know how Jesus is different from Nietzsche? Jesus declared God dead. Dead jokes. So what I'm trying to say, life is ridiculous. If you have time, it can be very well spent reading Nietzsche and Camus, or just making jokes and watching some funny videos when you feel down. The good mood is contagious. So what else you can do to snap out of the bad mood? Here's a useful fact. When you change your physical state, you change your mental state. That's why exercise is so damn powerful. It's not just improves blood flow, which is amazing by itself, but it also produces BDNF and endorphins, the happy hormones. And the quickest of them all, cold shower, because almost no worries can stand the test of cold. And the immediate release of norepinephrine is amazing for creating motivation to win the whole day. If the cold shower is too much, just splash some cold water in your face. It's an easy way to start. So try it when you go to the bathroom next time and let us know. Another easy thing on the list? Spending some time outdoors. Just 20 minutes in nature is shown to reduce stress and improve well-being. Can you go for a walk after lunch? It's a double whammy, improves blood sugar and reduces anxiety at the same time. Another way to reduce anxiety is to relabel it. 2 weeks ago I had to go to housing court, and that's so freaking stressful. You never know how it's all going to turn out. So what do? I run to the bathroom, do a couple squats and tell myself that this pounding feeling inside is not an anxiety, it's an excitement, which is free energy to stay on top of my game, and boom, I'm all focused and present and go and win the case. Another technique similar to relabeling is positive talk. Let me demonstrate. I'm so sorry that this video is so long. Hi, I'm so grateful you're still watching this long video. Remember rule number 6 and how powerful it was? Tip number 12 is double of that. That clip in the beginning where I was asking other people what I'm good at, that's how I was working on my ikigai, the life purpose. An overlap of the things you love to do and other people need, which you can be good at. I'm trying to find the meaning for my life. So the first thing I need to do is to ask everyone what I'm good at. They say, search for your passion. But the problem is, it's almost impossible to find. Passions don't usually lay forgotten on the road. But what you can do is to grow it on your own. You start from doing something useful and you're okay with doing, and then you just dig in deeper. You might have to try more than once, because it takes work and time to find your ikigai. But if you manage, you won't have a dull day in your life. And of course, you're more than welcome to join my cause, fighting the biggest enemy of the human race, the aging process. Aligning yourself with longevity, at the minimum, will bring you decades of extra life. So why not? If ikigai sounds overwhelming, because it is, it's okay. It took me more than 40 years to figure out mine. But what takes no time and gives immediate happy feedback is being good and helpful to others. Money can buy happiness if you spend them on other people. The other day, a homeless guy has asked me for $10 so he can get himself a beer. Okay, he got me with his honesty, so I gave him 20, but under the promise that he'll spend the extra 10 on food. I don't know, I'm still happy about it. And if you don't have any money, that's okay too. When I go for a walk, for example, I take a trash spear or that trash picky thing and hunt for garbage. And you know, people go out of their way to thank me. And it looks good, feels good, plus I spend some time outdoors. Evolution has wired us to be helpful to the tribe. That's what improves the cohesion and survival. So even the tiniest thing, like a compliment or a positive thoughtful comment under a video, can make the world a better place and you a happy person. If you feel like it, pause the video and give it a try. Yes? If you have your ikigai figured out or not, dedicate some time to doing things you love to do and be intentional about it. You need your time, it's like sharpening an axe before cutting the trees. And bonus, if you can mix in some creativity, it can be even better. Build, paint, grow, cook, play music, all the great options. Staying on the same topic, accomplishing some hard but doable things, also known as flow state, makes people happy. So try to have some long-term vision for yourself, but cut it into small pieces and work on them. For example, I have a multi-year vision for this channel and how it will change the lives of thousands and millions of people, but just blocking 2 hours each single day to work on this particular video and finally seeing how it takes shape. It's such a buzz. Speaking about flow state and intentional living, do yourself a favor and disable all notifications on your phone. It's good to stay connected, but do it on your terms. Connections and social interactions. You have another brain region you're tapping into, and it's responsible just for that, connections. When you're part of a group, you feel safer. So when you reinforce the old connections or make the new ones, you feel happier. It's a bit hard for me personally because I'm introverted most of the time, so I rely on the schedule to meet with friends every Wednesday, and then I outsource weekend planning to my spouse. Hug your friends or family members, it just works. Or hug yourself and do some stretches, just like that. Nice. One of my favorite quotes is the following: great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people. So when you meet with friends, make sure to discuss some ideas and emotions, because it helps you to process them better, be better, and be happier. And if you have to drink to not feel bored, look for another place to be. Same as with boring people, avoid the negative people, because misery begets misery. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't emphasize It doesn't mean that you shouldn't give your shoulder to your friend when he's going through a tough breakup. But if you have known glass half empty, everything is bad, we are doomed acquaintances, pretend that you are busy and make a wide circle. And do the same with newsfeed. The more you interact with negative news, the more negative news are sent your way by the algorithm. So scroll, tap not interested, or just outright block that. Instead, interact with funny or educational videos. Yes, always keep educating yourself. That's how you get the tools to build your life and happiness, by watching videos like this one. And reading some books to extend your imagination, to change your perspective, or just escape the routine is also a very good idea. I have a friend who is always stressing about small things, like losing a guitar pick. Once I gave him a present, a whole package of the picks. It was such a mistake. Now he's worrying about losing 10 picks. But I know I was the same way. Not stressing much about thousands lost in retirement stocks, but worrying about extra dollar lost at the gas station. Well, it's good to be frugal and not buy shit which you don't really need, but you have to realize that your time and stress, they are very expensive. So initially I set a rule for myself not to worry about anything less than 10 bucks. Over the years, it changed to 20, then to 50. And now I'm slowly working my way towards 100. Just think about it. Do you have no given limit? Speaking about not worrying about small things, you have to practice forgiveness. Nobody's perfect, and sometimes you have to eat that cookie, which you think you probably shouldn't. But if you eat it, the only way you can make that situation worse is by being ashamed of yourself and feeling guilty. So, as a smart monkey, you do the following. 1. Slowly enjoy every single bite using the early tips about mindfulness. And 2. Say quietly or in your head, it's the best thing I can do for myself now. Let's repeat that last bit together. Ready? It's the best thing I can do for myself now. Practice that. And now, let's get back to that guy. Journaling is the most powerful thing I have discovered during the last year. Because when you spend a little time writing something good, happy and meaningful, you force your brain to look for that in your life. And that's a perfect practice to end your day and process everything which happened. I have tried journaling many times in the past decade, but have failed every single time. Until one day I have created a challenge for myself based on the KISS principle. Check this video next to find out how it played out and how you can expand your life using micro-journaling. Living is smart, aging is bad. See you there.